where friends tackle sports, current events, and entertainment. Now, welcome your host, Smittywoo.
What's up, guys? We're back, episode 11. I know it's been a long time since we did an episode, but life happens. So we wanted to do a show. So my millions and millions of fans won't be starving for content. So today we're gonna do a show. The way too early NFL predictions. It's way too early, obviously. Football season won't be for another 2.5 months. But so we have an opportunity to say picks and not be held accountable because it may be wrong. So we're gonna have some fun today. We also have some new guests tonight, some fresh blood. So with that being said, we'll get the first one going. We have Lorden Slavita.
Yeah, guys, you hear that?
Straight out of Carrollton.
That's it. From Romania, baby. We're going to come and dominate this. You guys don't know anything about sports compared to me.
We have Lorden, who is one of the only guys I know in fantasy sports who don't believe in kickers.
I don't. I win without him, man. Sometimes.
Win. Yeah. It's kind of questionable, but, whatever. All right, well, we're going to have our next guest, Zach, coming from Carrollton as well, by way of Abilene.
You know it, baby. So this may be program 11, but I'm number 1 in your hearts. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. I just got one thing to say.
What it do, baby? Yeah, you already know.
What it do, baby? and last thing, Lorden doesn't believe in kickers, but he also doesn't believe in winning. So it goes.
Makes a lot of sense. Hey, Shalette, can you make some corn? We got some corny jokes going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Zach with the corny jokes.
Appreciate coming on, Zach. Then we have my buddy Brian. Now, Brian is very special to the show, and the reason why he's very special to the show is because you're looking at the designer of the logo. You wouldn't have the logo without this man here. So it's a pleasure having you on, sir.
Thank you.
It's not overdue.
I knew I'd seen that before.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got a lot of topics to talk about, and it's going to be something that we're going to have this video, so you're going to be held accountable. However, you're going to get a little bit of a break because it's way too early, right? Injuries could happen, other trades could happen.
It don't matter.
See what happens.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. It's documented. This is documented to live on YouTube
you come
forever.
Back to this, you're gonna be happy.
It lives on YouTube forever, or until I hit the delete button. One of the two, whatever happens. All right, the first subject that we're going to be discussing is we've had a lot of off-season moves that's happened. In your opinion, what team has had the best off-season moves to date? Now, I just want to warn all of my friends watching that these are 3 Cowboy fans. So you know how they get. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. If you hear a lot of Cowboy players, Cowboy talks, that's the reason for that. Cowboy fans can get a little delusional. So just wanted to warn you. So what about you, Brian?
Marshall, I just want to first of all say that I thought we were going to be discussing WNBA. I thought the Dallas Wings had a great offseason, by the way.
So you did some bad research then, huh?
Yeah, it might be a little off.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't really care about the NFL offseason until fantasy season starts.
So do you not have an answer to who you think had the best offseason?
I say the Rams, just because they got more veterans.
That was
That's it.
unacceptable answer. You don't have anything more than that for it?
I have nothing more than that. No. Now, if we're gonna talk the wings. I'm your guy.
I think this is going to be my shortest show to date.
No,
Thank
he
you,
just
Brian,
doesn't like to go first.
for sharing your thoughts. What about you, Lorden? Who do you think had the best offseason?
So, I texted on draft day, right? I sent out a text and I was gushing, and you'll know that this means something because I am a Cowboy fan. But I was gushing about a certain team that I think crushed the draft, the New York Giants. I wanted either one of those players. I wanted Evan Neal to fall to the Cowboys somehow. Miraculously, they trade up and get him. I think that guy, he's just going to be a beast, perennial Pro Bowler, just phenomenal all-pro player. And then they got Thibodeau. Man, that guy, he's off the edge. I mean, they basically got 2 top 5 picks, and they're like immediate, like rookie type impact players. So I think when it comes to that portion of it, they had the best offseason.
Okay. Giants. Not a
Giants, and that's from a Cowboy fan, so that's a lot. Man.
That's special. You must have lost a bet or something. I don't know. What about you, Zach? Who you think had the best offseason to date?
So I got 2. They tied. One is the Deadskins. They finally got a franchise quarterback. So
What?
Carson Wentz has gotten a lot of flack these last couple of years.
Oh my goodness! I thought we were saving these predictions for the end, Zach.
What are you talking about? Everyone's down on Wentz, but the Commanders, they see something in them. Think about the draft capital. What they give up? A 3rd rounder. They traded a 2nd rounder. So they gave up a lot for this guy. So while you may not see potential in him, if you go back a couple years, I think he can tap into that. So that's
Marshall, what do you think about that?
I think he's trolling. I think he's trolling. But, we're going to talk about Washington later because I do have a couple takes about that. But go ahead with
I didn't know we were going to talk about sexual harassment today. That's not different.
The crazy thing is I'm not trolling. I'm dead serious. Like, you got to
he's serious.
Who has picked up Carson Wentz the last couple of years in fantasy? Like, there's something there.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. Just interrupt you pretty briefly. So he actually had a good statistical year last year with the Colts, right?
Yeah.
But they gave up a 1st rounder because of his performance. Why in the world were the Colts such a rush to get rid of him? Why?
Well, because he's a conservative Christian, and they're not down with that type of he doesn't get along well with his teammates. His teammates don't like him.
He's persecuted.
Right.
Persecuted.
Right. So, Frank Reich, the head coach there, is also like that. So they butted heads. So they didn't get along. But I think going to a new team, this is like his last strike. Like, he's kind of failed out of 2 different places. So I think he's motivated this year. So not trolling. I really do think that is a good pickup. But then the other one is obviously the Broncos.
Man, yeah.
Anytime you can get, they were missing that franchise quarterback. They're going through, who was it, Drew Lock and, some other Teddy Bridgewater. So I think the fact that they got Russell Wilson's going to be motivated as well, to show that he's more than just the Seahawks system. So those are my 2.
All right. Not too bad. And I say not too bad because my thoughts was the Broncos as well. Russell Wilson, Randy Gregory, added to the pass rush. As far as the draft, the defense for the Broncos had been very good up until last year. Last year they kind of faltered, but they picked up the linebacker. I think he was from Oklahoma, which helps out with that. And obviously added Randy Gregory. We saw him as a Commander fan. I've seen him when he wasn't suspended because of drugs, of course, quite a bit. And he can be a beast, and if his mind's right, he can definitely make a difference.
Can I chime in on that real quick? Yeah, I was gonna say I said the Giants because the draft was so good, but the Broncos did something funny last year. It's like they have 3 receivers. Usually, only lock in 1 receiver in off season or mid season. They locked up all 3 of those guys, and then their defense actually, you know what, kept them in a lot of games last year. They were gritty, but they got Russell Wilson. I think he still has something to tank. But listen to this: they're gonna have the top 5, one of the top 5 running backs in football, Javonte Williams. That guy, we'll get into it later maybe, but he's going to dominate the league this year. He has like destroyed. He's basically like a tank with speed. He has the most broken tackles in the NFL. And then of course Pat Surtain, which is lockdown corner. So, anyways,
And Lord, it is very true about Williams. He tried to trade me. He tried to trade me Williams all year last year with
and you
that
should have took
same,
him.
with that same speech that he's about to dominate. He's about to dominate. Melvin Gordon is not going to do anything. He's about to filter out. He's about to dominate. So he does love him, even though he tried to trade him to me all year long.
That's not documented, but okay.
Hey, so let me ask you this: how come everyone's talking about the Eagles off season? Like they've got some like dream team going on here. I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Well, I mean, AJ Brown is definitely a huge pickup for them.
Okay, but
And
he doesn't have a quarterback though.
Okay, hold on, timeout. Jalen Hurts will be a top 10 quarterback after this season. He's going to work on his. He has no. Listen, Devontae Smith is a phenomenal route runner, but he's the size of my iPhone. That's how big Devontae Smith. So this catch radius right here. So I don't even know if Troy Aikman could hit him. Now you got AJ Brown, whose catch radius is like the size of your garage door. He's going to have a great year, and you know he runs the ball well. So yeah, he's going to have a breakout year.
When you say top 10, you're talking fantasy top 10, or are you talking
like as a real? People will consider him as he's. I think this year he'll show he's better than Dak Prescott. Personally,
you said Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts will be a better quarterback this year than Dak Prescott.
Are you sure you didn't want to hold that for your last segment?
You know what's funny? No, seriously, that was my last point, but I had to bring it out because now that I think about it more, it's not that crazy.
Yeah, I personally couldn't disagree with you more. Matter of fact, I think the Eagles, and we're going to talk about it later, but I think the Eagles will turn to Gardner Minshew, and Gardner Minshew will be the person that leads the team. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But with that being said, we talked a little bit about the offseason. After the offseason, teams are gearing up, getting ready to go. What about the divisions? We'll start with the AFC East. Who do you have and why? AFC East. Let's start with you, Zach.
How do you want to do this? You want me to rank them? Like
you can rank them if you want to. Yeah, sure.
So, like, if we're talking AFC East, I think that by and large, starts with Buffalo, right? So it's like, I think Buffalo is the cream of the crop. I think Miami is once again going to bring up the rear. I think the Tyreek Hill trade is going to go nowhere. Tua's a garbage quarterback. And so I think the Patriots and the Jets are going to be in the middle. So I see the Bills coming out of there.
So you think the Jets? You think the Jets are going to be better than the Dolphins this year?
Yeah, for sure. So here's the thing. So wait a minute, hold on. So with the Bills, you think about what plagued them last year. Well, now they've kind of added who they had, Von Miller. So that's something that's going to help them with the pass rush. And then you look at what the Jets did. The Jets, Zach Wilson, I think he's got something, but they're not going to be nothing too great. I just don't. I'm really down on the Dolphins. Tua is not the answer.
Okay. Interesting. What about you, Gordon? What do
Well,
you
I
have?
don't. A couple things on that, just to piggyback off that. First of all, I don't know how Von Miller fits Buffalo's scheme. I mean, he's not a 4-3 defensive end. What they paid him all that money to come in on third and fourth downs, and that was such an overpaid acquisition for someone long in the tooth. Like he's just, ugh. So what they run a 4-3. Well, he's not going to be there on first and second down. He's going to get run over on running plays, anyways. But yeah, Buffalo's obviously going to be the best. I completely disagree about Miami. I mean, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, that's probably the two fastest receivers to have on the same team that I can think of recently. Usually you try to have like a possession guy, maybe. Both of those guys their matting ratings are phenomenal. Their speed is just off the charts. And actually, I think Tua is more accurate than what Zach thinks. I don't think Tua is all that, but he's gonna have a good year this year. So, and they had a solid defense. You know, they got Xavier Howard. Now, when it comes to the other teams, man, Patriots, they always figure out a way to be in the mix. And the Jets are interesting, but they're going to be last in that division.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
Go with Patriots. They always figured it out, man. So I think they got it this year.
So
You think they win more than 10 games?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So you have the Patriots over the Bills, huh? Okay, that's an interesting take. And is your reason for doing that just because of Bill Belichick?
No, if you look at it last year, they were almost past midseason. They almost were a number one seed in the conference at that time. And then, of course, they lost a couple games here and there, and then they were, ended up where they were, a fringe playoff team. But yeah, I think they got the system, they got everything in place. The quarterback isn't terrible. They got it.
Interesting. Well, I will be going with the Bills, just because to me they've gotten better. They've added pieces and got better, and then they have a top 5 quarterback. Some might even say top 2 or 3. They don't have to worry much about weather conditions because they play in the weather all year round. So when it gets to the late games, they'll already be seasoned for those games, except for the inexplicable loss they had against the Patriots where Jones threw 3 passes. That was just that's an anomaly. So I think the Bills are definitely going to win. I think the Dolphins are going to be better than what Zach thinks, and I think the thing about it is when you have a quarterback that isn't that great, you need to have weapons with them, weapons around them, and they put weapons around Tua. So, Tua can be accurate for 10 yards and let Tyreek run the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's going to be a lot of slant passes, a lot of screen passes, a lot of those things to Tyreek Hill, him and I'm forgetting his name, the other Waddle. They already have a chemistry that they will continue to build upon. So I think the Dolphins will actually be in second place this year.
There we go. Yeah, don't forget they got Mike McDaniel, the Niners offensive coordinator.
Yeah, no. This is where I'm jumping in here. You're saying the Dolphins, they had a great coach last year, and now they upgraded to some hipster from San Francisco whose entire scheme was running the ball. Like, come on now. And now you're trying to put him in a system where Tyreek Hill's wanting the ball.
Are you still bitter because of the loss to the Cowboys? Is that what it is?
Have you seen this guy? And you think he's going to be the answer? Miami's going to be a dumpster fire this year.
I mean, he's not GQ or anything. Look at this guy, Micah Phillips. Cowboys winning it all. Of course they are. Why does it matter how he looks? Yeah, he's weird too, but he's like an offensive genius.
Okay, but what's his offensive system?
I don't know, but Deebo Samuel looked like he was Superman.
Okay, so does Miami have a Deebo Samuel?
I don't know. They can run Waddle like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Something.
I honestly like much like Smitty saying Gardner Minshew is going to take over. I think there'll be a QB change halfway through the season with Tua, unless they start tanking. If they're going to tank, maybe they keep him in. But if they're trying to salvage the season,
Is your goal in life to have the most craziest quarterback takes? You're saying Carson Wentz is a franchise quarterback. He's played for like 70 teams. And then all these guys that are just decent and actually probably better than him, like they're all going to get replaced halfway through the season.
okay, like who's pounding the table for Tua? Like, have you seen the OTAs when the ball is like underthrown?
What did Tyreek Hill say? What did Tyreek Hill say? I sent you the tweet.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Obviously, high saying he's better than Mahomes. Let's get
He
out
didn't
of
say he
here.
was better,
More
but he did
accurate.
say more accurate, which is interesting. Okay. You know,
Yeah,
I don't want to derail it, but it's going to be a dumpster fire there.
I trust Tyreek.
I mean, it's interesting that Zach is saying the talk was, back in the day, it was tank for Tua. Now it's tank with Tua. Guess that's what the tank is.
Exactly. Full circle.
No, that's why people view him as a bust because of the hype that they're waiting 2 years to get him, and he's not Superman, but he's a good quarterback.
Well, yeah, I think I do think the Jets are going to be last. I haven't seen the babyface assassin I was promised when they drafted Zach Wilson. We'll see. I know he was injured for some of the time, but when he was playing, it wasn't, and he's a rookie. You can't put stock in that just like you can put stock in how Sunshine performed in Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? So we have to. I'm gonna give him a grace period, but I just don't think the Jets have enough pieces around him and they don't have enough pieces to protect him. I know they did draft a couple offensive linemen. They did get my offensive lineman from Washington to work on protecting him, but I just don't think I haven't seen enough to have the Jets win many more games than what they've already won. So I think they're gonna still be in the rear of the car. So AFC East, that's shut down. The AFC North. So this one's going to be interesting for a couple different reasons.
Very.
I'll go ahead and start with that. I'm going to cheat a little bit. All right. So
surprise.
If Deshaun Watson plays more than 13 games, I'm going to say the Browns. And I say that because, there's still the looming suspension that could happen.
Well, there's something going on with him? is there some news on him?
Something. You look it up or don't.
Okay. I'll Google it. I didn't know.
So, but if you suspend it for over half the year, the Bengals are going to win the division. I think the Ravens will be third, and then Pittsburgh will be last, which is something they're not used to being. But they'll be last.
He's innocent. I'm with you, Julian. I'm with you. We're not going to get into that, but yeah. I don't trust women, man.
I think he was framed, but that's another story.
It's collusion. Yeah, we're not going to get into that.
What about Zach? What about you, Zach? Who you got winning the North?
Oh, definitely the Bengals. I mean, they're running it back. They signed our boy from the Cowboys. You look at what the Bengals, their issues last year that finally caught up with them was their offensive line. So Burrow got killed. And so now bringing in homeboy from the Cowboys is going to solidify that. Their draft, nothing really to write home about there, but they got such a good team. I don't see them falling off. So that's why I got winning. And then as far as bringing I did want to say one thing. The Browns did my boy Baker dirty. They're going to come crawling back to him. You know, Baker said the ball's in your court. He wants to play. He needs to play. Unleash him. So the ball's in the Browns' court right here. He can come back and be the savior. Watson ain't playing this year. He's out for the year.
I think I saw Baker here in Dallas. He was playing some flag football with some guys the other day here at a high school.
This guy got done so dirty by the Browns. It's not even funny. All right. So the karma's going to come back and get the Browns, but Bengals taking it, Browns in last, Ravens, and who am I missing? They'll be in the middle. Ravens and Steelers.
Yeah. Brown has some technical difficulties, so he may or may not be back. If he comes back, I'll bring him on. What about you, Lord?
All right, so this is interesting. Everyone wants to pick the Bengals because they made the Super Bowl. Listen, I love Joe Burrow, his cigar and everything. That's nice. They did improve their offensive line. But you have to realize if Deshaun Watson plays, Deshaun Watson is a top 3 quarterback. People forget that. I hate this generation, this Gen Z mentality. Whatever happened more than 10 seconds ago, they forget about it. Okay? Deshaun Watson is super accurate, super powerful arm, extremely elusive, fast, reads the field well. And then, you know, he's got good targets there. He's got Cooper. I don't know why they're in love with Njoku. They keep giving this guy money, but then they never actually throw him the ball. I don't understand that. They signed him to a long-term deal. That Njoku tight end. But Nick Chubb, I mean, that guy, he just creates play action. You know, he's never had that Deshaun Watson. So I see them winning the division. However, if he doesn't play, which would be a travesty, believe it or not, I think Lamar Jackson is gonna work on his accuracy this year. He's playing for money. You know how guys play for money, right? When it's time to get them dollar bills. And Lamar Jackson, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's phenomenal. So I think the Ravens will win the division if Watson doesn't play. Steelers, they drafted a 50-year-old rookie in this Pickett guy, whatever. He's trash. So they're gonna finish last. And so that's kind of the way I see the division. The Bengals they'll be in contention. It'll be a nasty division. It'll be a bunch of fighting. It's the toughest division, I think, besides the Steelers. So.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, yeah. Like I said, I've already said my point. Yeah, the Steelers. I think this would be the first time in a long time. I mean, I have faith in Tomlin. However, they just lost too much, and I think Claypool's an idiot, and he's he's into the fame of being a football player, but is he really in love with football? I don't know. That was a talk when he was being drafted. That's why he dropped in the draft class. They just wasn't mature. So if he matures, he'll be good. But no quarterback. Juju left, who whatever. No more TikTok dancing. For the Steelers for a little bit, I guess. But yeah, Steelers, I think, is going to have a tough year this year, and normally that's not the case.
Well, I just got to say one thing here. We sit here and give the Patriots the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, it's the system, it's the head coach, they're going to be good. Tomlin is like a top 3 coach. His teams are always going to be good. Look at what the poo-poo platter of QBs they had last year, and they were still, in contention down the stretch. So it's like, Kenny Pickett, Sunshine 2.0, you don't think that guy's got something?
Absolutely not.
Anything's better than Big Ben. Big Ben couldn't even do anything last year.
I agree with that, but Pickett can. He doesn't have arm strength. So I don't know. You know what's going to happen? Najee Harris is going to have 100 catches as a running back. He's going to be like, what was that Arizona Cardinal fullback that caught like 100 catches back in the day in the late 90s? What was that dude's name? He was a beast. Remember him? He was like
you talking about Mike Sellers or something?
No, Larry. Was it Larry something?
Oh,
Larry
I know.
What was his name? Remember, as a fullback for anyways. The point is, Najee Harris is going to get run into the ground. He's going to be in a hospital by the end of the year, poor guy, because he's going to get so much usage. Which, by the way, hint, fantasy pickup for PPR leagues. But, anyways,
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the AFC South. Morgan, you want to start us off with the AFC South?
yeah. By the way, it was Larry Sanders. Man, Larry Sanders from Tyler, Texas. He got 100 balls. Larry Sanders. Anyways, which division are we on? I'm sorry.
The AFC South.
AFC South. Man, this division, I don't know. It's just Houston is trash. So I mean, I don't even know what to think about them. That whole organization is just a big junk hogwash. But Tennessee is interesting, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I actually think the Jaguars are going to surprise some people. They spent some stupid money, like that made no sense. Like it was they were just throwing money in the streets. So it's just a nasty division. I think it's up in the air. Actually, I think one of these teams like Jacksonville can surprise. Tennessee they went and got the receiver from the Rams, Robert Woods, for AJ Brown's replacement. Another thing that's interesting is Matt Ryan is an upgrade over Carson Wentz. By the way, I think the Colts are interesting. They're going to pound the ball. They should have made the playoffs last year. Like we got Jags fan here. Jags season holder Clayton Lee. Season ticket holder Clayton Lee is on here. Jags are coming, he says. And they are. I think they're going to be good. But, honestly, I think overall the Colts are going to win the division. They just got a good team, good defense. You got Kenny Moore, Darius Leonard. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's a beast. So they got it for sure. I just worry about the receivers a little bit, but they're good.
What about you, Zach? What you think?
This division is trash. So Indianapolis is going to win this, like in week 12, they're going to clinch.
Oh, my goodness. Disrespect. The disrespect.
Okay, so first of all, like all jokes aside, like upgrading from Wentz to Matt Ryan, like that's exactly what they needed. You saw what they did with Phillip Rivers. I think he's even an upgrade over him. So the Colts just needed a QB. So I think they take it. Houston, can any of us on here name the starting QB for Houston this coming season as it is right now? Exactly.
Yeah.
Who?
It's the same guy who quarterback last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Davis Mills, right? This trash quarterback from Stanford who was like a high-ranking recruit out of high school but has done nothing. So all they're doing is tanking. They're not going to be competitive at all. And then with Jacksonville, I disagree with Lord 100%. He thinks they're coming up. I think Lawrence has a big bag of nothing.
You think he's trash?
I don't see it. I do not see it with that. It doesn't matter how sorry your team is. I needed to see something out of him last year.
You didn't see some of those flashes last year? Oh,
no, I didn't. He's been the golden boy ever since he won the national championship. What was his freshman season, sophomore season at Clemson? I don't see it with this guy.
I'd rather have him than Dak Prescott.
I'm not a big fan of Dak, being a Cowboys fan, but I don't see it with Lawrence at all.
Did you see a comment on there, by the way? Someone commented. I didn't see the name, but they said Baker might be in Houston. That's interesting. Your boy Baker.
Okay, so
there it is, Brandon Barkins.
Don't get my hopes up here.
Yeah, I don't know. Baker will end up somewhere like that. What I don't get is how are you hyping up the Colts situation? They let go of Carson Wentz, so you do agree that Matt Ryan's better than Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz needed a change of scenery. It had nothing to do with his ability. He just needed to change his scenery.
I thought that's what happened when he went there.
Nah, don't worry about that. Just the last thing I'll say is the Titans, they're in for some trouble. I thought what they did with AJ Brown was not the smartest. I'm not a believer in Tannehill. And eventually something with the running back is going to take place. He can't keep pumping out 2,000-yard season.
Henry, well, he'll literally die. We're
going to see some mileage this year on him. He can't keep it up.
It's what happened with Eddie George, remember? He's an upright runner, tall. He's way bigger than Eddie George. But Eddie George, career was.
Well, I don't agree with Zach much, but I agree with him on the Colts. The Colts are going to win the division. I think Matt Ryan is still an above average quarterback, and he will do well with the weapons he has there. He has a running game in which, Matt Ryan loves to throw the ball, so I don't think that we're going to have another 1,800-yard season from Williams. Not Williams.
Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
That guy's a beast, man.
But I think that the Colts will win the division just because of the rest of the teams in the division. I think they win by default. I think that's now the worst division in football. And I don't think it's close. I don't trust Davis Mills because, I never trusted a guy with 2 last names or 2 first names. So there you go. With him, he got to go. It's just not looking good for the AFC South. So the Colts back their way into winning the division, and they will probably wrap it up pretty quick, like Zach says. I think Tannehill is a mediocre quarterback, and he lost weapons. So is he good enough to carry a team? No, absolutely not. So I think that
his wife was great, though, when she was whining when he was in Miami. His wife was whining for him on Twitter.
I think they're going to give him, give the running back the ball 150 million times a game, and he's going to die eventually. And I don't wish for death upon anybody. And so I hope they don't do that to him, but it's inevitable. You can't carry a franchise on your back that long unless your name is Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, no joke, that guy.
Hey, one last thing there on the Titans, though. Tannehill, I 100% agree. And I think he also stepped in it this offseason because they drafted his replacement. I think that Malik guy from, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be awesome. And I think
he should have went higher.
Yeah. And so I think Tannehill feels threatened by it. I think that's a volatile situation there.
Yeah, I remember he came out and said, my job is not to mentor this kid. He said that. And they asked Malik about it. He's like, oh, well, we're friends. I went to his house for dinner. But I'm like, basically, he's saying, like, he didn't like that they drafted him. But
yeah, it just shows how sorry Tannehill is. So that team's, I don't see it this year.
As our buddy would say, mental midget, right?
Yeah.
Mental midget.
All right, let's move on to the best division.
By far.
In the NFL.
By far.
The AFC West.
What a sick division, man.
So, Lorden, I'll start with you on this hard one. Who do you think is going to win the division?
Okay, so I want to start by saying something. I never fed into the Patrick Mahomes hype. Okay, listen. He's overrated. Now hear me out real quick about this. This is just a small little tangent. They put him up like he was just the god of all quarterbacks, that he can just do anything. He does no-look passes, and, he just can throw the ball so hard, even though Josh Allen can throw it harder. And then what happened? The Bucs showed how to beat him. And then ever since then, he ain't done nothing, all right? He makes deep runs into the playoffs. He's the new Peyton Manning, okay? To where, he's not going to be able to give it a hump. But I think the Bills will consistently beat them in the playoffs. Now, in this division...
Let me stop you. Let me stop you real quick. This is a no Peyton Manning hating podcast. So
no, I love Peyton Manning.
Derogatory word
okay.
about Peyton Manning, or I will kick you out of here.
I was referring to the Colts, not Peyton Manning. I love Peyton Manning. Okay, so they're in trouble because they lost Tyreek Hill. Okay, who's he going to throw to? Like Pringles, the sour cream Pringles? What flavor Pringles is he? And then with Kelsey, he's long in the two. So no more Tyreek Hill to take the top off with that 99 speed. And so then what do you got? Nothing. So they're going to struggle. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a blob running back. Their defense is super suspect. All right, so they're going to finish third. All right, so they're actually going to finish third. The second place team I have the Broncos. I think it's nice that Wilson is there, but I don't think that it's going to be enough. I have the LA Chargers winning the division and the Raiders finishing last. Now, bear with me on this. It's going to be like tight. Like, I mean, literally the rankings will go like this as the weeks go on. But I think the Raiders will be at the bottom because I don't trust Derek Carr. And I think that this kid, man, Herbert's going to just explode. I mean, he's already exploded, but I think he's going to go ballistic this year. So that's my order ranking there.
Okay. Zach, what says you?
Yeah, this is a travesty because our team should be in the playoffs. Great division. I see the Chargers winning it. I think they are just a solid team. And then adding, who was it, Khalil Mack? I think he still got a little something left. You put him on one side, Bosa on the other. I mean, yikes.
He's better than Von Miller, I think.
Yeah. So I love the coach. You know, he's all into analytics and he's real aggressive. So I see this as the Chargers division to lose. I think the Broncos are probably going to bring up the rear as much as I love, you know, what they did in the offseason. I just think, you know, they need a little bit more going into next season. The interesting thing I'd say is I think the Chiefs are going to struggle. And just let me throw this out there.
Yes.
Lorden is a Mahomes hater. The only flaw that Mahomes has is his choice in women and brother.
He can't choose his brother.
Well, he can disown him, and he should.
Yeah, those brother's an idiot.
But Tyreek Hill, I think they're undervaluing him because he could take the top off of the defense. And all of a sudden now, these routes that Kelsey had, I don't see those being as wide open as they had been. Tyreek Hill is an amazing player. So I think the Chiefs are kind of in for some struggles. So I think it's the Chargers to win it. And then the Raiders, I mean, Devontae Adams is, you know, we're sitting here saying where Tyreek Hill is comparing Tua to Mahomes. Well, what didn't get as much pub is Devontae Adams coming out saying Derek Carr is comparable with Aaron Rodgers.
He said that?
Yeah, it was something to that extent, but you got to remember they're boys from college, so
yeah, they're boys. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's pumping up his boy or whatever because I think Derek Carr is kind of just average, but it's a good team. So that's
You think Derek Carr is going to put that back shoulder fade that Devontae and Aaron Rodgers had? Have you ever seen Derek Carr throw a back shoulder? Never. You know why? Because he can't.
Right, he's too busy wearing mascara and praising Jesus.
Exactly, everything's Jesus, man.
But I think the Chargers and Raiders fight it out for the top, and some Broncos.
We also ain't going to have no Christian bashing on here either.
Oh, man.
my bad.
We were just referring to Derek Carr, so that's what he does.
Now, in this division, I think it boils down to one simple phrase by an old school wrestler by the name of Ric Flair.
Oh, God.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. And so far, nobody's beaten the man. So the Chiefs are going to win the division.
I don't think so.
The Chiefs are going to win the division because people talk about all of these new up-and-coming coaches, and they forget that Andy Reid's still in the league. And
He hasn't had a heart attack yet?
And Andy Reid, you know, as long as, you know what I'm saying, they don't, you know, none of his family issues bog him down.
Or his family killing people?
Whatever. Tomatoes.
Is he still in the hospital after that Bills game? I thought he went to the hospital or something. Didn't they go to the hospital?
He's still alive and well.
Okay, all right.
And as long as Andy Reid's alive and well, the Chiefs are going to continue to have great play calling. You know, they have added wide receivers, so they're going to try to win by volume. You know, can Juju Schuster-Smith, you know, catch some balls? Yes.
He's gonna bicycle his routes.
He's gonna be doing TikTok dances with Mahomes' brother. Like,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
can Gatlin Scantling catch some long balls? Yes. I mean, you forget they still have a very fast wide receiver core. They still have Harden there. I think it's Harden. I think his name Harden. Yeah, they still have some fast guys.
Look what your boy Brandon said here. You see what Brandon said?
Do they have Tyreek Hill? No.
Okay.
Is that a big deal? Yes. However, as long as Andy Reid is still on that sideline and they still have Patrick Mahomes and they still have the best tight end in the league,
who will be getting triple team now.
If all I'm saying is if Alex Smith can win with no wide receivers, then Patrick Mahomes can win with average wide receivers.
Their defense was better when Smith was
there. And so let's talk about this. So you're saying, Andy Reid was able to do that with Alex Smith. He wasn't able. He was doing that in the NFC East when the division was down, and the AFC West when the division was down. This division is amazing, but also they lost the Honey Badger. So you're saying, what's that?
Their defense is gonna be terrible,
right? So you're saying the offense is not going to be as good as last year. We can agree with that, right? And now the defense is not going to be as good. I don't see it.
Well, the Chiefs' defense last year was bad up until the late in the season.
Yeah, so halfway through the year, they hit another level. They started because they removed the Daniel Sorensen, who is like the Jeff Heath of our team, like just some slow white dude that was playing safety, just getting destroyed, So they moved him in closer on nickel packages, and then the defense got better. But like he said, the heart and soul of that defense is gone.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be so I think the Chiefs are going to win the division. I think the Chargers are going to be second. And I think that the Raiders and the Broncos will be last, but they'll have the same record. Like every team in the division is going to win at least 9 games. So that's what's going to happen in that division. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Until the Chiefs get beaten, then you can't count them out. This isn't like the NFC East where there's a different division winner every year. The Chiefs have dominated that division since Andy Reid has gotten there pretty much. So you got to beat him. And the man is not only Patrick Mahomes, but it's Andy Reid. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Now we'll go to the NFC, and we're gonna make the NFC East last because for obvious reasons. Let's go with the NFC North. What do you think will win that division, Zach?
Okay, this is another trash division, so Packers are gonna win it. I think the Bears. They're doing such a disservice to their quarterback. Who's the quarterback for the Bears? The young guy?
Justin Fields, yeah.
Yeah, Justin Fields. So what kind of weapons are they giving this guy? Nothing. Look at the coach they had last year for him. So I feel bad for that QB because I think he's got something. But I see the Packers winning, Bears in last, and Detroit and Minnesota in the middle. I will say that I think Detroit's going to maybe level up a little bit. I like their coach, and I think they had a good draft. So that's where I see it.
Okay. So what's the over or under how many times the Lions coach cries in the press conference? I say 6.
Hey, he's passionate, man. Dan Campbell, an ex-Cowboy, a Parcells guy. He's passionate. He said he's what did he say last year? He's going to kneecap some guys. Isn't that what the quote was?
I don't know whatever you said. I'm sure there was tears that was following. He's the modern day Dick Vermeil. What about you, Lloyd? Who's going to win the division?
Oh man, boy, is Aaron Rodgers going to hate life this year. Poor guy. Devontae Adams to me is the best, not even close, the best wide receiver in football. Just his route running ability, his size. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but who's he throwing to now? I mean,
Sammy
nobody.
Watkins.
Who?
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he pulls a hamstring week 3.
Yeah, and it's like his 5th team in like 2 years. Listen, they're gonna struggle, and they lost some defensive players too. So they got lucky with that one cornerback that came off like basically the practice team and turned out to be a stellar interception type cornerback, but that was like a fluke. I just don't see them winning the division because I think Minnesota is going to step it up this year. Kirk Cousins is boring; he's whatever, but Dalvin Cook is amazing, and man, Justin Jefferson. I mean, that division with those defense, all it's going to take some big plays, and that guy is just a rocket. So I see Minnesota winning, actually. I don't think the Packers will. It's wild to say, but watch the hurt that there's going to be without Devonta Adams. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to put the Lions, and then the Bears are going to be in third. So that's how I see it.
I mean, you have the Lions below the Bears?
Yeah. I think Justin Fields, even with that, I think the coach will get fired a few games into the season, and you'll see like a lift in the team. And Justin Fields is, man, he's fast. And, in this league, make some plays with your legs. I think they're going to outdo. I mean, Jared Goff is terrible.
Okay, but remember the last couple of games of the last season? What was that receiver that blew up for the Lions?
Was it St. Brown?
St. Brown?
Monroe St. Brown from USC, right?
Okay, now they drafted the speedy guy from Alabama. I know he's coming off of ACL, so I don't know if he'll be ready right at the start of the season. But I think that offense is going to be.
But Jared Goff is check down city. I mean, DeAndre Swift's going to get all the catches.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't see the Bears being better than the Lions personally.
I think they will. It'll be close.
I think that the Packers are going to win the division because, once again, to be the man, you have to beat the man. And Aaron Rodgers has been the man for years. And he's going to, I think, any team that has Aaron Rodgers on their team has like a 4-game head start. So I think that with weapons, without weapons, Aaron Rodgers will get the ball in people's hands, and they're going to have to make plays.
I just don't think so.
Yeah,
he just seems like he doesn't care. He's the kind of guy. Football's not his main love. He's just good at it, and I think he's going to get disinterested, and you'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I do think the Bears and the Lions will be equally trash. And I think that the Vikings will lose however many games that Cook gets injured, because he's going to get injured. And every game that he's hurt, they're going to lose those games. So I'm saying the over-under for Cook getting hurt about 5 games. So they're going to be about maybe 12 and, well, no.
Alexander Madison, he's still there, right? He's a stunt double.
Yeah, but he's not as good. But I mean, Madison's a good backup. Hopefully they'll try to share the ball more to save Cook, but because I mean Cook is bound to get injured. But I think that the Vikings are going to be in second place by default, because the Bears and the Lions are going to be bad. I think the Lions will be better than the Bears, just because I think they had a better offseason than the Bears. So I think that will give them a leg up. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Packers. So, AFC South. Zach.
You said NFC South?
Yeah, NFC South.
Okay. I got some hot takes here. Okay, so NFC South is a division where Tampa Bay is going to run away with it. You got Benjamin Buttons at QB. Gronk is going to come back halfway through the season and unretire again. I don't see Tampa Bay going anywhere. I think I don't see them going anywhere. I think maybe the wild card team is the Panthers. If they get Baker, they've been flirting with Baker all off season. I view the Panthers kind of like the Colts, where they just needed a QB. I think they're a solid team, and I think they got a good coach. I mean, look what he did for Baylor. I think he can win in the NFL. They just need a QB. I think Baker could go there and have a phenomenal season. I don't see their current QB doing anything, Darnold. But if they can get Baker, I'd say maybe a sneaky wild card team in the Panthers. I see the Saints as having a major drop off. One, Sean Payton. You lose that offensive mind, something's got to give there. And then two, they doubled down on their QB. I mean, let's be serious. That guy is not a winner.
You don't like crab legs?
I don't like crab legs. But then when they rotate to Taysom Hill, that is not any better either. But I just don't see it with the Saints. The Saints also have like all these like knucklehead wide receivers. Like Michael Thomas hasn't played in a couple years.
We know you don't like Michael Thomas.
Yeah, he's like a fantasy dream from like 4 years ago that has done nothing since. Jarvis Landry, who they signed, I mean, he was good like maybe 5 years ago. I just don't see it. And then the last thing is the Atlanta Falcons. What a horrible team that's going to be. Like, who's their QB? They're going with the rookie. They're going with Mariota. And then their head coach, I don't trust guys that come from money. And their head coach is the son of the FedEx founder. So he don't need the money. He's not hungry. I don't see that with that team. So that's it in a nutshell. Bucks to win it. The other three to bring up the
Man, he went deep. He went through family lineage jobs. Wow, that's some research right there.
So what I've taken from that take is Zach hates rich people. So
yes, he does.
Cool.
Who comes from wealth and has that dog in him that wins?
Lorden.
I did not come from wealth.
Yeah, exactly. How many fantasy championships he's got?
I got a lot of silver medals. If you add up enough silver medals, that's not true. I won before, not in that league, but anyways, that's not important.
All right, Lorden.
All right, so first of all, Bucks are going to win. Unfortunately, I'm not a Brady fan, but whatever. The Saints actually will be a surprise because Winston, before he got hurt, was slinging the rock. He was doing pretty good. Michael Thomas will be coming back, although there's reports about his ankle still not right, which I don't understand. Like I'm 40 years old, and I messed up my ankle. If it heals, I have not had an injury that takes a year to heal, so I don't know if it like completely fell apart or whatever. But yeah, he's crazy in the head, but he's still phenomenal if he can rebound. I think the Saints, they got the Honey Badger back home, right? They also got some other LSU player back, Jarvis Landry, right? There's someone else on defense. So they'll probably come in second. Yeah, Falcons are trash. The Panthers CMC, man, he's Mr. Glass. At least his girlfriend is hot to like massage his injuries, I guess. But, I love Christian McCaffrey. He's just amazing, but he gets hurt way too much. So they'll come in third, and then Falcons last.
Okay. I'm going to say the Bucks are going to win. I'm going to say the Bucks are going to win, but it's not going to be because of Tom Brady. I just think they're going to win because they have a lot of talent, and Tom Brady is going to do what Tom Brady does, and basically just live off of being in a terrible division and having people carry him. So he'll be sufficient, you know what I'm saying? And he'll be accurate. I don't like Tom Brady either, but I mean, he does his job. He's accurate. He's an accurate quarterback, and he plays well in the system. Over the last couple of years, he's been throwing the rock better. But I think the division is just not that good. I think the Saints will be better. So they'll be in second place, and then other two teams really don't matter. because they're going to be far behind. So, yeah, it's that's going to be the South. Last division, NFC West. Let's go with you, Lord. You start us off.
Check this out. And you can put this in stone. This is going to happen. All right. First of all,
49ers.
49ers are going to win the division for two reasons. Number one, there's always a Super Bowl hangover. Always. It's historic. It happens even to the Patriots. All right. That's one thing. Only the Dallas Cowboys were pumping out Super Bowls back to back to back. Well, they missed one because of a tripping, but whatever. Only they could do that. All right. So there's that. They feed into their own hype and all that. I think people figure out Cooper Kupp. He's not going to go ballistic this year. Trey Lance, I was so huge on him. Unfortunately, he went to the same college as Carson Wentz, which is a travesty. However, he is going to explode this year. Now, they lost the coordinator, right? He became coach in Miami, Mike McDaniels, but he is going to have a huge year. And that Niners defense, I think, when they're all healthy, can compete right up there with the Rams defense. And so I think Stafford is a joke. I think Stafford is he's basically Trent Dilfer to me. He went to a team that was going to win with Jared Goff. Jared Goff could have won last year. Stafford was hot a few games. You had him on fantasy, right, Marshall?
Yes.
Wow. Ooh, wow. And then what happened? He started throwing interceptions to high school players. It's just like he's overrated. So Trey Lance can have a big year. So I got the Niners, the Rams, though. They're still good. I cannot stand Kyler Murray. Little man syndrome. Teams have figured him out. If the Cardinals run him out, he hurts his shoulder, his leg. So they don't do that at the end of the year. And what happens? He stays in the pocket, and he is garbage in the pocket. So they're actually going to be right down there in Seattle. Obviously, is a mess. So that's how I have it.
Okay. Well, the Rams got better. So
why they get better? Why?
Well, they added Allen Robinson. So when you add Allen Robinson, that makes your offense better. So with that being said, I think that they're going to win the division. I think that Stafford is a good quarterback. He has a great arm. He's kind of a poor man's Brett Favre, in which he thinks he can throw it in any hole. Pause, that's kind of weird to say, but Stafford's he's gonna have a good year. The defense is a defense.
So he's the best quarterback in the division, you think?
Yes. He's the best throwing quarterback in the division. Yes. I think Kyler Murray having his buddy join the squad is going to help the offense better, but they lost Christian Kirk, who he relied on quite a bit. But I just think that the playbook is out on, yes, and I hate to say it, but because the quarterback for I'm having a brain fart. The quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray. I draft Kyler Murray every year. So that's my guy, and I just think that fantasy wise, he's a great quarterback, but NFL wise, he's just too short to really be great.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's going to be tough for him to lift the Cardinals and to get further in the playoffs. I just think it's going to be tough, and they're in a tough division. So I just think that it's the Rams' division to lose, and I think Allen Robinson. You swap out Allen Robinson with a Odell Beckham was on like one leg pretty much the whole year. I think that's an upgrade. So that's where it boils down to me. The Super Bowl champions got better. So that's what I'm going with. Questions, comments.
Can I jump in here with mine?
Shit.
Because I can't believe I'm going to agree with Lorden. Okay, so
Welcome to the winning team, bro.
So let's just first of all say Seattle is going to be a nightmare. But they do have the most underrated receiver in the league in Tyler Lockett.
Oh my God.
This
If I have to hear this guy's name one more time.
This guy gets traded for Teddy Bridgewater, which is a travesty.
You're talking about fantasy football.
So
dude.
let's just throw this out of the way. Tyler Lockett and who's the other receiver in Seattle?
Well, DK Metcalf, he's a beast.
Metcalf. That's actually a top 5 duo in the NFL, but the rest of the team's trash. In fact, what they do with the linebacker that they just
Bobby Wagner.
They did Bobby Wagner dirty.
They did.
They did. So I just think the shine's off of Seattle. Carroll.
He went to the Rams, didn't he? Actually.
Yeah, like I said, they got better.
I think they implode though.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think the shine's off of Seattle. Now I want to talk about Arizona for a second.
Oh, man.
There'll be no Kyler Murray slander in here. He's half Asian. So.
Oh my gosh! You make this racial.
That's my boy. He's half Asian.
You like Kyler Murray?
We take him, Smitty, not you. We take Kyler. All right. But
okay.
I agree with Smitty that the book is out on Coach Bro in Arizona. You got to remember, this guy got fired at Texas Tech because he was a garbage coach. Now he goes to the NFL.
Yeah.
What did the Cardinals start out last year? Like,
that was weird. Yeah, how he
an
got
amazing
fired.
season, and then they just died because the book got out on them. I don't see Arizona bringing anything to the table. Then you add in DeAndre Hopkins. He got suspended for taking
some future bionic treatment to stay alive or something.
Right. That guy got the contract and he's done nothing. So Arizona, whatever. Now, my issue with the Rams, I think that they are going to have a Super Bowl hangover. I'm not convinced about Stafford.
Preach.
Stafford is shaky. He comes from Highland Park, so
exactly.
He's got that.
Again, hater of money, Highland Park, rich people over here in Dallas.
Well, I don't trust QBs that are shaky and that have interesting choices in women. Just like Mahomes, Stafford's wife was getting thrown out of the playoff games last year.
Yeah.
So there's that going on with Stafford. And McVay got married this offseason. He's got other things going on.
That's true.
So signing Bobby Wagner, they're signing old people. The Niners, nothing's changed. They may have lost their offensive coordinator, but they didn't lose anybody because that's Shanahan's offense. They're going to be hungry. Trey Lance, I'm with Lorden. Trey Lance is going to do what Kaepernick did a couple years ago, but even to a greater level.
Oh, yeah, he's got a way better arm.
Yes, I'm so high on Lance.
Lance can be tough quarterback.
He's got to be second round pick.
They put him in a little protective bubble last year. They didn't want to run him on gadget plays. They were so careful.
Yes. So Niners to take it.
Yep.
Terrible pick by you two. Terrible.
Choice of women. That's what it comes down to. The fans love it. We saw a comment there.
Yeah, I was Ubering the other day and I picked up 4 women from Highland Park.
Oh man, what was that like?
It was a terrible experience, but that's neither here nor there.
That's persecution.
Go Highland Park.
Yeah, no, Highland Park. Yeah.
So we got that boiled down to. So
now
we had the divisions picked. There's going to be 2 people that's going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Who are those 2 teams going to be?
Oh, we're going to wait for the end for these. Okay.
Who are so wait, NFC East we're doing later?
Oh, NFC East.
Yeah,
so,
NFC East. Let's do it.
No, come on. Yeah, we got it.
All right. NFC East. Let me start with you, Zach, since you rub your hands like Birdman.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit you with this one stat in the NFC East. There's not been a repeat winner in this division since 2004.
Wow.
That's insane. So even though I'm a Cowboys fan,
Oh no.
I don't see it happening. I
Oh,
think
no.
this is Philly's division to lose.
Oh.
As bad
Jalen Hurts.
as much as that hurts me to say,
Hurts. Get it? Hurts.
what Philly did this offseason, even though maybe Minshew's the one that's leading them at the end, I see Philly.
No.
Philly won it a couple years ago with like a 7-9 record. Like I see the NFC being down. I think the Cowboys took a step back. They, Amari Cooper, losing Gregory, their draft pick, the number one pick is like a project. They're dreaming he's going to be like a Larry Allen. So I see Philly and Dallas kind of vying for it. The Giants, nah, they're still on the Daniel Jones train, so this will be his last season there. And then Carson Wentz, the team won't be good, but he's going to have an amazing season.
Okay. Lorden.
Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm going to tell you something, and this is another thing this is a fact. The Dallas Cowboys defense will by far, there won't be a toggle back and there won't be no vacillating. Dallas defense will be by far the best defense in football this year. And not only that, after this year going forward, this will be the first year they start doing this. They're going to become historically well known. They're just everyone's going to know who they are. Your grandkids and your grandkids, okay? Man, that defense is going to be amazing. And the electric player that will come out on offense is going to be Pollard. Pollard will supplant Ezekiel Elliott by the end of the year because then finally next year the Cowboys can cut bait with Elliott and not be burned too bad. Dak Prescott will have an average year. Gallup, he's going to have a decent year when he comes back. He's a good player. CeeDee Lamb. The offense is fine. That offensive lineman they took, that's Larry Allen 2.0. He's going to maul people. It's going to be huge holes up the middle. He can also pull, so he's going to just explode people as Pollard runs the edge. So the Cowboys are going to win the division, and their defense is just going to be ridiculous. Also, the Eagles, of course, Jalen Hurts, he's going to have a phenomenal year. They're going to be second. The Giants will be third. And then at the very bottom, we're going to have the Commandos, the Washington Commandos. They're going to be at the end because Chase Young, he so didn't want to play for them last year that he tore his ACL just so that he didn't have to play anymore. That's how bad it was.
Right.
They're going to be at the very bottom. And they paid McLaurin, which, I like him. So that was a good addition. Basically, any good receiver gets $20 million a year, basically. So that's what he got. So that was fair.
So my head was hurting listening to you guys. It was utterly ridiculous in a lot of points. First of all, just to be perfectly honest, not only will the Cowboys not be the best defense in the NFL,
wow,
they won't be the best defense in the division.
Oh my goodness!
So that's so far out there. The Eagles are going to win the division.
Thank you.
And I think the Eagles are going to win the division just because, no, they're not an all-star team like the running back was trying to proclaim. However, I think adding A.J. Brown was a big pickup. I think Gardner Minshew will lead them. And I think they still have a great offensive line. So if they can protect Minshew and actually run the ball more,
you guys will see. You'll see.
They'll win the division.
I'm gonna come back and watch this in a few months.
I think the division. I think 2 is actually going to be a close race too. I think the Cowboys will be second. I think the Cowboys will, or the Redskins, or excuse me, the Commanders will be third. Giants will be last. However, I think that And we'll talk about this.
Go ahead and hype up your Deadskins. Good comment, Brandon. Thank you.
We'll definitely talk about Washington later on because I have them on a different subject. But Washington is definitely not going to be bad at all because they were good. They were very decent with a quarterback that was in college 2 weeks before he started playing with the team. So having a quarterback that can actually throw the ball is going to help them. Having more offensive weapons. They added Johan Dotson, who's very explosive. They've added some people. They're going to surprise some teams, but
you should buy the team. It'll be for sale soon. You should buy it.
I mean, I would definitely like the owner to be gone. However, this is about the players, and the players have something to play for. I think they're going to be motivated, but that's besides the point. They're going to be third, maybe second, but most likely third.
Can I say something real quick, though? So the Cowboys will have the best defense because of secondary as well. But I'm not going to lie to you. The best defensive line in football is the Commandos. That defensive line, it's not even close. That is like they drafted those guys so well that defensive line is ridiculous. They don't get along. They try to punch each other sometimes, but they got some game in them.
Yeah.
I personally think that Diggs is just overrated. And you're hating.
Oh, watch yourself.
You're just a hater.
That's a hater.
You're hanging your hat on a cornerback by, in all intents and purposes, by statistical purposes, was like almost the worst quarterback in the league. But he just had some interceptions.
Oh, yeah, those interceptions. You mean the change of possession when you get the ball back from the other team that wins games?
Here's a word of advice.
Okay.
Look up Revis's interceptions. Look up Deion Sanders' interceptions.
What year did they do this?
Look up those interceptions. When you're a great cornerback, and when people don't think you can be beat, the ball is not going your way. The reason why he baits
people like Deion Sanders, he baits him. How many years has he been in the league? Dude, he's still a baby. He's
right. And you're comparing these cornerbacks from 20 years ago, 10 years ago. The league is completely different with the offensive systems and things like that. There's no more shutdown corners. Who's a shutdown corner?
I think Ramsey is. Jalen Ramsey is.
Okay.
No, Ramsey is a bad boy.
I think you're just being a hater towards Diggs. It's his second season in the NFL.
Second season.
He's got this reputation. People are going to start avoiding him.
Yep.
He doesn't know. Nobody avoids him because you want to know why? Because the fact is he gave up more yards than any cornerback in the league.
It does backfire the way he plays, but he's in his second year. That's a fact, but it's his second year. He'll tighten that up. But he also gets burned because he baits people because he has that Deion Sanders ability to accelerate at the last second and cover ground. That's what he does. You think he gets those? He doesn't get Larry Brown interceptions where they fall in his lap. The dude baits people. Now, sometimes it backfires and he has to tighten that up. But, he puts his hands on you. He can play 10 yards off of you. He plays zone. He plays man. He tackles. Man, he's a top 5 corner.
He's not a top 5. You can't be a top 5 corner and give up the most yards in NFL history.
But have historic interception numbers?
Right. So this is where Smitty's going to say – he's going to say that, like, Brandon Carr is better than what Trayvon Diggs is. And Brandon Carr was horrible for the Cowboys. But you know what? He didn't give up big plays.
Boring.
He played it safe. He didn't get any interceptions.
No,
that's not what we want. For this defense to work, we got to have an aggressive corner like that because on the other side they play it more conservative. You need this.
But see, and that's the thing. The thing about it is he had 11 interceptions, right? Is that how many?
Let me double check that.
I think he had 11 interceptions.
Let's see here.
You play 17 games a year, right? So you play 17 games. If
2 for touchdowns, by the way.
If you're leaning on him making one play a game, less than one play a game, and you put him in the upper echelon, then your defense is not going to be good. If you watched him play, in some situations, he was just getting turned around. It wasn't no baiting. He was getting turned around and was getting beat. So
you want him to get 11 interceptions and to like be on glue on people every time. So you want to live in a robotic world where we're computers, not real people.
No. This is
Darrelle Revis was good at zone. Darrelle Revis was not good at man, by the way. And I love Darrelle Revis.
He was great at man. Darrelle Revis was
better at zone.
Now Richard Sherman, he's better at zone. But the thing about it is, I compare Diggs to Hall, who used to play for us.
D'Angelo Hall?
D'Angelo Hall. Because he was aggressive, he made plays, but he also got burnt quite a bit. So the thing about it is nobody at that point in time, if you look at his interception numbers, he was getting picks. If you look at, nobody was praising him.
Was he getting 11?
Nobody was praising him because he didn't have a star in his helmet. When you have a star in your helmet, all your accolades are accelerated, and all of your failures are also accelerated. So it's the biggest spotlight in the NFL.
If you get 5 interceptions as a cornerback, you had a great year. 5.
He
11.
had more interceptions. He had more interceptions than any cornerback in the last 40 years. 40 years.
I did not even know that.
But
40 years, Marshall.
That's great. But he also gave up more yards than anybody in the league in history. Are you just throwing that under the rug? Does that not matter? Does it not matter to you that he's given up more yards than any cornerback in NFL?
I don't know I doubt he gave up more than anybody. I think Anthony Brown on the other side gave up way more.
I'm just saying, does that not matter? You could give up yards as long as you get your one pick a game. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me that's the most important?
It's all circumstantial. It depends on how it goes down.
All I'm saying is you should have kept Byron Jones because he's a better cornerback.
Oh no! That's a perfect example. He's a boring corner that doesn't get turned over.
Boring, conservative, played it safe. We need difference makers.
Okay. Yeah. Difference makers is going to have the ball thrown at him every game, all the time. But that's neither here nor there. You guys made your pick.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So if Diggs plays well, great. But
why would he not?
Well, great for you guys. But I don't foresee him having 11 picks. 10 picks, 7 picks.
No, he'll have 7 and he'll shut down people the way you want because he'll actually be like in his 3rd year, like a baby and learning.
Okay.
How you come out in your 2nd year and you're getting what Zach said? You're in your 2nd year in the NFL playing one of the toughest positions. I think it's after quarterback, it's the toughest position. Position.
So just for clarification. What's more important, interceptions or yards being thrown on you?
Yards being thrown it's whatever. That don't matter to me. What I want is I want turnovers. And obviously the way that this defense works, they be more conservative on one side and they let him be more aggressive. It works for the defense.
Okay. Works for the defense. Okay.
And by the way, Micah Parsons said he's trying to break the sack record this year. That's what Micah Parsons just said this past week, which can happen.
We'll see. All right, so let's move on. Super Bowl picks. What 2 teams are going to represent the AFC and NFC in the Super Bowl? So let's start with you, Lorden. I'm assuming
I want to start with Zach.
Okay, Zach, it's on you.
You said the 2 teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Okay, so in the AFC, Buffalo, and I see the NFC, the Niners.
Okay. What about you, Lorden?
So as much as I think Dak he'll have a better year this year, I just don't. He's above average. Cowboys are definitely. I mean, if I'm going to say that they're going to be the best defense in football, which they will be, like 100%, then they're going to be in the Super Bowl. I like Buffalo a lot. I really do. They should be the obvious no-brainer. However, I have the Chargers going. So
Chargers in the
yeah, because if that defense is healthy with Derwin James at safety, that guy. I mean, and the offense, Herbert, Miami should have took Herbert. That's another story, but they're going to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Cowboys and Chargers.
Yep.
Okay. I'm
Who you
going with
got,
the Rams.
Smitty?
I'm going with the Rams and the Bills.
Oh, the
Rams and
Rams.
the Bills. I think the Rams are going to.
I wish I could bet you.
Yeah, we'll do some push-ups or something.
Off
yeah.
the record.
MVP.
Okay.
I am going to say, and if anybody's watching, I think it's just Clayton watching now. He says the Rams. Is going
I
to.
think he forgot to write sucks. I think he forgot to write sucks. He just had Rams on accident.
Or maybe you're saying Rams not going to happen because the next thing is not going to happen.
Not going to happen. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Explain yourself, Clayton. For my MVP, I'm going to say it's going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen is going to win the MVP this year. I just think that he's, with his mobility, with his strong arm, with his confidence, I think he's making a case for one of the top two best or one of the top three best quarterbacks in the league. And he'll have a great year. Zach, what about you?
Well, Clayton, great minds think alike. Bills and Niners, right there with you, bud. I think MVP is going to be Chargers QB Herbert.
Bro, that was my pick. Herbert, hands down.
I think Josh Allen's going to be right there. Obviously, I have them going to the Super Bowl, so I think Josh Allen. But I mean, Herbert,
50 touchdowns, maybe 50.
He's impressive.
50 touchdowns,
and I just think it's his time.
So you think?
But I wouldn't draft him in fantasy until the third or fourth round, personally.
Right, for sure.
So go ahead and give me your pick, and then I'll have a follow-up question. Go ahead, Gordon. That's your pick.
Oh, it's Herbert. Justin Herbert.
So you think Herbert, and this question for both of you guys, you think Herbert is a better quarterback than Josh Allen, or you just think he'll have a better year than Josh Allen?
I think he'll have a better year. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they're like
neck and neck, right?
Yeah, they both have, different abilities, but they're both. I mean, I'd say they're 1A. So
yeah.
Okay. So if you're starting a team right now, would you pick Josh Allen or would you pick Herbert?
Well, see, this is where I don't mean to be devil's advocate, but it depends on where you're at. Like, if I'm a team in the East in the cold weather, I'm going to go more Josh Allen because he has that ability. If I'm going LA weather and have that home field advantage, then Herbert's where it's at.
So there's only one state in the country has LA weather, right? So the only
but LA weather, dome weather. You look at the AFC East. Are there any dome teams there? So that's where you say, who do we start with a quarterback? I guess if I had the gun to my head, I'd say Herbert.
Okay, so if you're Jerry Jones, you trading Dak for Herbert or Josh Allen?
Herbert.
Lorden?
Yeah, so if we're talking about right now, Herbert's 2 years younger. He's 24. Josh Allen has a stronger arm, but I think Herbert's more accurate. They both have wheels. They both can run. I think Herbert is more of he reads the field better. I just see Josh Allen. He has such a strong arm. He just guns the rock in and he makes it happen. And he's pretty accurate too. But he's not a guy who scans the field by no means, right? Watch him closely. You'll see that. Whereas Herbert, man, you'll see him get to his third read. It's amazing. Like he's just looking. It's just textbook quarterback. I like him. Plus he's got cool hair. So I think he cut it though, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely Herbert.
Okay. All right. Well, who, Lord, let's start with you. Who do you think will have a breakout year? What player?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
No,
That's your guy.
No Gardner Minshew. Jalen Hurts is gonna he's gonna push the envelope for maybe 1,000 yards rushing, Michael Vick style. Not saying he will get it, but he's gonna push it, and he's underrated. He'll have a breakout year.
Zach?
My Super Bowl pick, Trey Lance.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah,
I think he's Colin Kaepernick 2.0. Shanahan's going to know how to utilize him to his strengths. I see him blowing up this year.
Okay.
Smitty, what you got? Please don't say Commando.
I have
Fitzpatrick.
2 players. I'm on the fence.
Ooh.
One of them is going to be the one I'm going to present to the audience here is James Conner. I think Conner is going to have a good year. Yeah. This is what I do, guys. I
Make wrong decisions.
I come on here, I push the envelope, and I look at do my research. James Conner is they had the other running back. He's already gone, so James Conner will be the number 1. We know that the Cardinals do a lot of running, do a lot of screen plays. I think James Conner is going to have potentially 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving.
Oh wow, that's bold.
He was decent. He was pretty good at fantasy at the end of last year. He's sneaky.
Yeah, he'll get you like 2 or 3 touchdowns, but he's not.
I don't
he
see
doesn't have anything special though. Like he's
right.
not fast.
Yeah, this one's
I
worse.
feel bad. He's a cancer recovery patient, but
this is worse than your Diggs.
We'll see. We'll see. That's my pick. My honorable mention was going to be somebody who y'all already joked on me for, Sammy Watkins, because he's playing.
Oh my Lord!
You're going deep, bro. You're going deep.
Because he is playing with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers has to throw the ball to somebody.
No.
If Sammy Watkins plays more than 5 games, I'd be surprised.
Okay, we'll see. I've been hearing good things. I called Ed Warder, and Ed Warder gave me some things about how the Green Bay Packers mini camps have been. I think we're going to see something that you are not going to be ready for. I tell you,
you're going to see the Packers struggle this year. Is what you're going to see. Watch, Packers are going to struggle.
All right.
You push the envelope there on both of those. That is no doubt.
Big time.
Now, who will be your bust player of the year? Zach.
I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. I think people are still giving him the benefit of the doubt from a couple of years ago. I just think he's done. He's just done.
You think he's done?
Yeah, I don't see.
He's electric though. He just gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, but I think the electric too. You know, when you look at with Zeke. You know, when Zeke came on the scene, he was electric, took some hits, and he's lost that explosiveness. Yeah. It's even worse with CMC. So I see him busting out.
Okay.
And not a good way, busting out.
Yeah.
What about you, Lauren?
So I want to have 2. I'll mention them quickly so I don't take too much time since I'm taking 2. First of all, Matt Stafford is going to have a horrendous year. Horrendous. Super Bowl hangover is like, it's a fact of life. It's like getting old. It's like death and taxes. It just happens. And he's going to throw 1 million interceptions this year, and it's going to look like it's in Detroit. And then on top of that, believe it or not, semi-bust, I think Aaron Rodgers will have not a great year. He's never been a huge touchdown guy. He controls the clock. Yeah, he'll wing it deep, but he won't have Adams. So he's going to have a bunch of guys. You see him get upset when Adams was at a few games last year because I remember I watched them close. They had Adams on my fantasy team. He's getting frustrated, receivers. and then he won't throw to people, and then he throws to Robert Tanya and some weird tight end. He's not going to have a great year. The Packers are not going to win the division, so I think Stafford and Rodgers will have. But I think Stafford will have a bad year.
Terrible take. Appreciate
Sorry,
that.
we're gonna watch this in a few months, and we'll see.
Oh yes, we got receipts.
And we got video receipts.
My bus player of the year is going to be the colorful haired DK Metcalf.
Oh,
Because
really?
nobody is throwing him the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's gonna, we've already seen him, get mad and self-destruct on the sidelines with Russell Wilson. Imagine these other bums on the quarterback.
Geno Smith, Eddie Baker.
Whoa. Who is I'm so bored?
I have no idea.
We got a name?
It's a joker coming on here.
Yeah, we're gonna find him. We're gonna track them. It's probably somebody I sent an invitation to. Identify yourself. It's probably Rico. Is that Rico? The guy destroys me at Madden. Look, hey Livy, what's up? That's my breakout player of the year right there.
All right. So last question. Well, not the last question of the preview show, at least. Who is going to be your surprise team in the NFL? A team that is going to surprise you, whether it's surprise you in a good way or bad way. Go.
Okay, I can go. Detroit Lions.
Surprise you in a good way?
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to suck. So, I mean, I know that's not a ringing endorsement, but I think they've got the building blocks in place. They've drafted good the last couple of years on the offensive line and defensive line. They added that Jamison Williams. My boy Clayton's big on him. That's Amon St. Brown. I think Goff can do something, and I'm a big believer in the coach. So I could see them, 8-9, 9-8, maybe sneaking into a wild card.
Okay. Lord.
So I'm not a huge fan, obviously, of Deshaun Watson's personal life and his decisions regarding what's going on now. However, the surprise team will be the Cleveland Browns. There's no doubt about it. He will not miss a bunch of games, and when he plays, he is going to just put the league on fire. He has one of the best running backs in football. Play action makes him he can bootleg and play action roll out. I mean, he's just going to destroy defenses. So I think Cleveland, because I think Watson will play majority of the year, and Cleveland will be awesome.
My surprise would be the Washington former football team, current Commanders.
Oh, my Lord.
I've already touched on it, man.
You're not even wearing Washington gear.
You have us onto your program to have an educated discussion.
Yes.
I've enjoyed this.
Unbiased.
You just decide to do this?
Well, I mean, I did. It's not like I picked them to win the division, right? I didn't pick them. I picked them to be third in the division, but they can still be a surprise team because all of you bums got them in last place inexplicably. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we have a better quarterback than we had last year. We have more offensive talent than we had last year. We have Chase Young coming back. The defense will be better. They added some safety help. So the defense would be better than last year. If every aspect of your football team is better than the year before, why would they not be a better team? The owner isn't catching balls, at least not on the field. So, you know what I'm saying? It's the Commanders are going to be a surprise team. They will win at least 9 games.
Okay.
9 games. Yeah. Commanders.
We got Clayton on here. Clayton went to the Commander Stadium last year and told those fans what's up. There's no heart with that team.
Are you talking?
Like Lord said, the defensive line is amazing. But there ain't no heart with that team.
I do think they win 9 games. I think they'll be good though, Zach. I do.
Are you talking about the? Are you talking about the game in which everybody was on COVID? That game? Of course, the fourth string guys ain't going to have no flipping heart because they are happy to be there. When you have a healthy game,
What's COVID?
we don't believe that in
idea.
Texas.
Yeah, see, me, Clayton, and Marlon are gonna go again this year.
Oh, really? You're gonna go to the game up there?
Yeah,
I'm down. I'll go.
Yeah,
Marshall, let's go.
let's go, Marshall.
If you're a real fan, you'll go to Washington with us in the cold. They play in the cold. Clayton, put it in there. What's the date?
Yeah, Clayton, tell us the date. We'll
Clayton,
drive,
find the date and put it in there.
we'll just drive all day.
It's the last
Saturday.
game of the year. It's the last game of the year.
Yeah, so it's in December.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Last game of the year.
I mean, is Marshall going to want to go when they've already fired their coach at that point?
We'll see. You guys are going to text me and apologize profusely for your unimaginable, terrible takes when it comes to the Washington Commanders.
Zach, you know why this is why he got us on here, right?
Right.
So our last segment we do pretty much every show, fan favorite. Yeah, I said it, in which you would do your hot takes on anything under the sun, entertainment, news, food, change, doesn't matter. Whatever your take is, you can go at it. So let's start with Zach. What is your I said it moment? Or yeah, I said it moment.
Can I have two of them?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is Aaron Rodgers is dating a blue-haired witch. So I think he's gonna retire halfway through this season, and we're not gonna see this dude again. He's gonna be gone.
He's gonna lose interest. Yep.
Yeah, like there's no doubt about that. That guy's got a screw loose. Doesn't even talk to his family. Now he's dabbling in witchcraft. He's gone. Outside of that, yeah, I said it. Anybody who watches Star Wars, Star Trek, Avengers, I'm sorry for you. Like, I don't get it. Never seen it. Never will see it. Open your eyes. There's a lot of other entertainment out there. I don't get these Star Wars fanboys.
So you say that you've never watched it?
Never seen it.
However, there is picture documentation of him at a Star Wars event with a younger brother in the congregation. I'm telling you, man.
I took a young brother because he loves Star Wars. I took him to an event in Fort Worth.
Busted.
Never had, but that just goes to show the love I had that I did that, even though I think it's a whack program. So yeah, I said it. Star Wars, comic book movies, Star Trek, all that. I don't get it.
So Marvel movies too.
All of it.
Wow. Okay.
Lorden, what is your yeah, I said it statement?
So I'm gonna stick to sports on mine. This is gonna be one of the greatest years for the city of Dallas and Fort Worth. Fort Worth can join us too, because this will be one of the only years that a football team and the basketball team will win a championship in the same year.
Wow.
It will happen. I wish I could bet money on it. It's going to happen. I'm not even being a homer. I'm just looking at things. You got the best defense in football. You have a top 3 point guard in the Mavericks. They're doing subtle moves in the offseason. They're a top 4 team in the NBA. They got beefed up front. So, boom. There you go. Cowboys, Mavericks.
Yeah, I just got word that
Lorden is delusional. Hey, by the way, this guy right here, CMTY, Lorden is delusional. Shout out to him. This kid, he's up in Washington. I've actually never met him in person, but he's in our PlayStation 5 Madden franchise league with some other brothers from the Washington area. He's actually a Giants fan, ironically. This kid, he ruins my days. Like, I thought I was like the man at Madden, like just destroying other people. This kid like puts it on me. So shout out to Rico, man. He's a freshman in high school, by the way, just destroying me. So, anyways,
I've never met you, but I like you. Keep putting it on Lorden. You deserve it.
This guy joined my division in Madden. He's the Ravens, and I'm the Steelers. He's just destroying me. I beat him one time. That was it. Anyways.
All right. My I said a statement.
Here we go.
For a long, if you go to anywhere around the country, and people mention Texas, they mention one food chain by the name of Whataburger.
Oh my goodness.
And they act as if that's the creme de la creme of burgers. But I'm here to tell you that Whataburger has one good burger called the Patty Melt, and the rest of the burgers are very, very average. Matter of fact, it's not in the top 10 of burgers in Texas. Burger Street, Five Guys, all of those kill Whataburger, except for that Patty Melt. Yeah, I said it. Whataburger is overrated.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's
Like-
a hater take.
Like Brandon said, it's not water burger, it's what a burger.
Yeah, you should these niggas
I
water.
know. I know what it is. I know what it's called.
What a burger.
And I call it Whataburger because it's a watered down form of a burger.
They don't freeze their meat like In-N-Out. It's legit.
You
Brandon.
know it's good when you're driving by at midnight.
Yes.
The only food chain that's got a cars wrapped around
Yep.
the drive-through. Everyone's trying to get that burger.
Bro, it's open on Christmas. It's the only place open on Christmas, New Year's, everything. It's open 24/7, dude.
And this is even personal because actually my little nephew, who's 15, just started his first job at Whataburger last week. Boom. I got the inside scoop.
Dude, what's going on behind the scenes? Good stuff, right?
Well, do my apologies to your little cousin or nephew that he has to work at an average burger joint. With that being said,
Terrible
thank
takes.
everybody for tuning in, watching. I want to thank our guest, Zach, Lorden, Brian, wherever you are. Do you guys have anything you would like to plug? Any last words? Lorden, anything? You got going?
No, I would like to encourage anybody who is listening who is an avid Madden League player. If you have a PlayStation 5 and you take it serious, you want to join a franchise mode, hit me up in the notes on YouTube or whatever, and we'll put you in the league, especially with 23 coming out. Anyways, there you go.
And I'd like to plug jw.org. Go in there, download a publication. Let me know so I can count that as a placement. And then also hit me up on my Twitter handle, Big D Life.
That is not your Twitter handle.
Okay.
Cool.
Big D Life is my Twitter handle.
Anyways, enough of
All right,
that.
cheers, not. All right, everybody. Hope you
All
enjoyed
right,
the
take
show.
care, guys. It's been fun.
Check you guys out. See ya.
Thanks for listening.